Hi, I'm Maca from Kokonimo. In this video, I will teach you how to recreate this 3D drops wallpaper with Procreate. The color palette and brushes I use will be down in the description box. Follow me as I show you how to draw this. Let's open Procreate and select the canvas size we are going to use. For creating these wallpapers, I like to use the screen size 1. The brush we are going to use is called Monoline. You can find it inside Calligraphy, but we are going to adjust it a little bit. To do that, tap the brush and the Brush Studio will open. We are creating drops, so we want our brush to be quite smooth. If the streamline amount is too low, the drops will be a bit shaky, and we don't want that. So make sure the streamline amount is between 80 and 100%. And adjust the stabilization a little bit too until you are happy with the lines. 20% looks good to me. So now we can tap done and select our color palette. I'm going to use this Ice Cream 3D color palette I created. I'll leave it in the description box for you to use if you like the colors, along with the brushes I used during this tutorial. Now to start the design. Fill in the first layer with the pink color by dragging a little pink circle at the top right of the screen and dropping it anywhere in our canvas. To create the first layer of drops, open Layers and tap the plus to create a new layer. Select the blue color and, using the Monoline brush, start drawing the contour of our drops. We are adding to more drop layers, so make sure this first one is quite low on the canvas, so you have enough space to create the other two. Now, we are going to duplicate this layer by sliding it to the left. Select the one below and fill in the top part of that layer. To start giving it a 3D look, we have to create a darker edge that we will blur later. To do that, select the layer with the line and tapping the end. Change the layer mode to multiply. This will darken the line one shade from the original color. If one shade darker is not enough, you can duplicate that line layer again and merge the two lines by pinching them together. Now we have the perfect shade for the edges. Okay, we have our first drop layer done. Now we have to repeat the same process more times. To do that, create a new layer tapping the plus button and select the yellow color. Let's draw a new line the same way we did with the blue drops. Don't worry if you can't draw the line in the first attempt. It takes a little bit of practice, so repeat it as many times as you want. Duplicate the yellow line. Select the one below and fill in the top part and repeat the line process to create a darker edge. Let's create now our last drop layer. To do that, add a new layer by tapping the plus button, select the green color and draw the last drop line. Duplicate the layer. Select the one below and fill in the top part. After that, create the darker edge line following the same steps we did with the first two drop layers. Perfect! We have done the drawing part. Now we have to create the shadows to give our design a 3D look. To do that, we are going to select our green line layer and use Gaussian blur to blur it. But if we do that, the blur will appear on top of the green layer and also on top of the yellow layer. And we don't want that. We want the shadow, the green edge, to be only on top of the green drops. What we have to do is to tap on the green layer miniature and activate clipping mask from the list of options we have. That way, anything we draw on the top layer will only appear on the one below, but it won't appear anywhere else. Now let's tap on the magic wand. Select Gaussian blur and slide the bar up to around 8%. That creates a round look to start giving our design a 3D look. We have to repeat this process with the yellow line and also with the blue line. Make sure you use the same Gaussian blur percentage on every layer so the shadows look uniform. We have done the yellow line, and now let's do the same with the blue line. The next step is to create a shadow between every color. So it looks like layers of ice cream melting on top of each other. To do that, we are going to duplicate the green layer that we filled in before and changing its color to black. A quick way to do that is by activating Alpha Lock on the layer. Selecting the black color from our palette and tapping on Fill Layer after filling the layer. Remember to turn the Alpha Lock off. Again, what Alpha Lock does is allow you to draw only over the parts that are already on the layer, if you don't turn it off. When we use Gaussian blur to create the shadow, it won't be visible, so remember this step. Now that we have turned off the Alpha Lock, we can go to the magic wand and select Gaussian blur to create our shadow. By turning it up to around 7%. It doesn't look that good now, but we will move it later, don't worry. Now we have to do the same with the yellow layer, and also with the blue one. Okay, what we are going to do now is to move the 3 black layers together. To do that, tap the first one and slide to the right the other 2 so we have the 3 black layers selected. Tap on the arrow and move them down a little bit. Play with it until you're happy with how it looks. The shadow looks a little too dark to me, so to change that, we have 2 options. The first option is to decrease the shadow's opacity by tapping the N on every layer and turning the opacity down until you are happy. The other option is changing the layer mode to overlay. That way we will change the shadow color to one that complements the one below. In this case, it will be a dark yellow. I prefer this option, so we are going to do this on every black shadow layer. We are almost done. To finish our design, let's add some highlights on the drops. To do that, we are going to create a new layer on top of everything else. And we are going to select the script brush that you will find inside Calligraphy. With the white color selected from our color palette, adjust the size of your brush and draw little curves on some of the drops. While I draw these highlights, remember to check the description box to get the color palette. There you will be able to see the brush names and also my socials, in case you want to follow me there. Also, if you recreate this, tag me on any of my social platforms. I would love to see your designs. This is the last step to create or 3D drop wallpaper with Procreate. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!